All right, let's get it, y'all. We are here tonight. I hope you are going to tune in and listen to what I have to talk about because this is Law of Attraction Part 2. Friends and family, or family and friends, or whatever you order you want to put them in. A cold, hard truth. All right, so I'll wait till everybody gets on here before I get started. The stream is scheduled to start at about 6:10, so I'll wait till people get on here and then we'll get started. All right. What's going on? Who is that? King, what's up, Ryan? How you feeling tonight? All right, let me get off of here. All right. What's going on? 65 E Miracle. What's up? Let's do it. Let's get into it. This is a good topic I want to get into. I feel like that a lot of y'all are going to learn a cold hard truth that maybe you're realizing now. I'm going to get into various subjects around it, and we're going to talk about growth. And at the end of the day, that's all it's about. It's about growth of self, growth, knowledge of self. It's about manifesting those things into your life that you want to come true. Understand the realization that you're going to have to sacrifice certain things. Understand that sometimes family is family in their blood, but you got to keep them where you got to keep them in order for you to grow. And we're going to get to all those things. Also, friends too. Friends and family are somewhat the same thing sometimes, because I know a lot of y'all may look at friends as family, and some friends might even be closer to you than even family, or support you than your own family does that claim they love you. So we're going to get into that kind of stuff tonight. I want y'all to tune in. I want y'all to, to just take some mental notes. If you're driving, take mental notes. If you're not, just, write some things down if you need to. I feel like this is very important for many people to understand. I'll wait a couple more minutes until we get started tonight. Well, today. It's supposed to be a lot lighter outside, but they're trying to mess up everybody's circadian rhythm by taking some hours off the day. I don't really like it. It makes me have to work a little harder around my own schedule in order to stay focused, because I need a certain amount of sunlight to be able to move. And when they take 3 hours out of our sunlight, it messes us up. So what I would like to do is I wake up earlier to the old schedule so I won't really lose sunlight, because they're doing this on purpose. I feel like this year is the darkest year with the less sunlight out of all the years for some reason. And it's they trying to throw me off, so I gotta do a little bit do a little bit more. You know what I mean? All right, let's see what we got. How many we got on here? Let's see what we got going on today. All right. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. Now, I wrote, you know how I do, like, the ADD thing you want to talk about. I like to jump around from topic to topic. So I like to write things down. I like to follow the script here today so we can understand what we must do, what realization we must come to, and how we must move if we have to do it by ourselves, or when we have to do it by ourselves. Because I feel like when you start to learn the law of attraction, you start to learn a lot of things about yourself. You stop questioning everything. I mean, you start questioning everything, and it makes you realize that many people that you call friends or family, or family friends, they don't question things. They just do what somebody else told them to do without any question or any research or just why whatsoever. So as you come into learning the law of attraction and knowledge of self, you might change your diet. And I'm a big advocate that when you eat different things, you will think different things as well. It will start to activate certain parts of your brain, certain parts of yourself that make you see this world a lot clearer than others may see it. You're realizing that people that you have grown up around or been friends with or family with have been walking around with goggles on that somebody spray painted black on it, and they just not seeing nothing. Somebody's tapping them on the shoulder and say go right. They don't ask why. They go right, and you might want to take your goggles off, and you're like, why am I going right? Because somebody said it. Well, where'd that come from? These things are going to start to pop into your head, and if you start to speak these things, family will challenge you, friends will challenge you, because now what you're doing as far as bettering yourself, you're starting to step outside the paradigm of what you grew up around. And when you step outside the paradigm, you will come to find you get challenged by damn near everybody. And that will initially create resistance from you having anything that you want, because they will be doubters and all that stuff. So I think this is very important to get into. I think that many of y'all need to really start to love yourselves more than you love to fit in. A lot of people love to fit in more than love themselves, to a point where you trying to fit in is a detriment to yourself just so you can be in the in crowd, whether it's the in crowd of family, whether it's the in crowd of friends. How bad do you want to get ahead? How bad do you want to find a better version of yourself? You got to ask that question. You got to like be at the beach, like not literally, figuratively, and draw a line in the sand and say, listen, this is this line right here, and I'm not going to cross it no matter what. No matter who tries to influence me, no matter who tries to talk dirty about me, I got to follow these tasks. So when you walk into the law of attraction, many of y'all are walking in there with your old beliefs, your old knowledge, your old teaching. And when you walk into the law of attraction, you have to walk into the law of attraction with an empty cup, meaning that you can't bring any of your old beliefs and knowledge before what you have learned to the law of attraction, because it's not working. Point blank, period. Like, you might be tired of being sick and tired, or I'm just tired of being out of shape, or I'm tired of being sick, or I'm tired of being broke, whatever it may be. You have come to the point where you're just tired of the bull crap, and you will do whatever it takes. You got to have that attitude. When I learned the law of attraction, it was purely out of desperation. It got to a point where I was like, whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. You got to get to that point. Like, whatever it takes, I got to do it. Tell yourself in the mirror, do whatever you got to do. But these things are going to be weird to the ones who have not got out of their paradigm or believe something completely different. Now, first subject we're going to get on today. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at y'all comments too at the same time. So, okay. The first thing you have to understand is that when you have goals, this is a big one for many. Oh, this is a big one. When you have goals and aspirations, they will be sometimes so big that your family members might be like, get the hell out of here. Come on, Ray. You want to be a CEO of your own company. You want to create your own sneaker. You want to do these things, Ray. I don't know. Maybe you should, go work for such and such and just be safe with it. Now, somewhere in you, it's a little voice. You know that voice that you hear inside of your brain that you're not speaking? That is what I call your higher self. But you also have a voice that is also your lower self as well. They call it a conscience. Back in the day where you would look at commercials, you got the devil on the shoulder, you got the guy in the suit on the other shoulder, and one is telling you to do something bad and one is doing something to tell you good. Well, these are also in you as well. You have a higher self, you have a lower self. And your higher self is trying to get you out of this paradigm so you can get ahead, because what makes you different from people who have started their own companies and become successful? Well, basically the belief in yourself and how much you're going to let the voice in your head take over and just push you and propel you to greatness, or the lower self in you to push you into that pit you've already dug for yourself and scrape you along every single rock along the way when you're in that pit. Now, when you got family like that, you can't tell them what you want to do. You just have to do it, because when you tell them what you want to do, they don't believe in you to that point. Some of them might encourage you. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying you can't tell anybody in your family or your friends if you think that it's big, because they're going to create resistance with their doubt, and they'll put doubt in you. And when you want to go up, and you want to go up fast, like rapid action, rapid manifestation, you don't want to put that in their heads, because all they're going to do is put their limitations in your head. And you're trying to get out of that hole of limitations you have put yourself into, so you can't tell them a damn thing. You got to keep it to yourself. I know you're excited. I know you just started this new thing. I know you want to share with everybody. I know. It's like, yeah, I'm definitely doing something in my life. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Yo, keep it to yourself. Listen, even sometimes you can't even tell your spouse. Sometimes you can't tell your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your kids or whoever. You got to keep it a secret, and you just got to make your moves on your own. Now, I know for many of y'all, that's going to be very difficult to do. But if you don't want them to put doubt in your head, You can't tell them. Because here's the thing. Friends and family know you. Like, they know you. They know you when you was a bad kid. They know you when you was a womanizer. They know you when you used to do this and do that and was irresponsible. They know you when you never cleaned your room. They know you when you was never on time. They know you when you always got fired from your job. They know everything about who you used to be. But that is not the person that you have accepted that you're going to become. The person you accepted you're going to become is the one that isn't like any of those attributes that I named. It's the one that's going to be every opposite of your bad self, but they don't see it yet. You only see it. And when you have something, a sight and a vision inside of your mind, that is you. That is who you already are in the future, but they don't see it. You only see it. And because they don't see it, they can't put you inside of that box of, or outside of that box of where you're trying to go. Because every single time they look at you, that's who you will be to them until you have proved yourself to get to that point and live like that. It may take years. It may be never. But you can't tell them a damn thing about what you're doing because they're going to add certain resistance because you have now got out of the box they have put you in. Everybody puts you into a box. And when you leave that box, you will have adversity. You will have doubters. You will have people who envy you. You will have haters because you are doing something they wish they could do. And you're moving at such a pace of understanding and knowing you're going to make it. It doesn't compute to them. It doesn't make any sense. So you got to leave this on your own. You got to leave it. You got to just listen. Like, do your thing on your own. Write down your visualization. Get a little book. Put it in your back pocket. Do your own thing on your own. Like, keep a secret. This is probably the most important secret you'll ever keep in your life. I can guarantee it. It's probably the most important secret. So you got to leave it alone. Now, let's get to the part where you're starting to excel. Now it's coming to fruition. Now you are starting to do what you got to do. It's hard to even say this, but it's not. It's hard to tell it to y'all because I'm sure that you're thinking something else about your friends and your family or whatever. When you start to excel in life and you do things that are outside the paradigm of what you were raised, what your friends are comfortable seeing, they're used to somebody else on TV or they're used to somebody else that they watch doing it. They're used to all that, but they're not used to, you doing that. It doesn't make it like, yeah, right, Ray doing all that? I don't know, but whatever. We're going to support them. So you start your little business, they start to support you. You're doing little small things, but you're doing it, right? And they kind of feel happy for you because you're still inside that box, but you're like crawling out, like your head is looking outside the box and looking at the new world. You're like, wow, this is great. And they in that box and they looking at you like, all right, proud of you. But as soon as you start to get further and further and further along, what happens? What's the terminology that people use? The words crabs in a barrel. Now, first it will be envy, and then it will be silent hatred. And you can always tell. You can always tell if somebody is genuinely happy for you. Now, you are my family. You are my friends. You are the ones that I love, and I'm doing this. I could be doing this for you, but you are my family, and you are supposed to support me. Are they? Do they? Now, judging by my story and judging by many other people's story that I know and many of y'all going through it, judging by the post that I put up today, a lot of y'all feel like I feel. 9 times out of 10, you won't get the support you need from your friends and your family. It will come from others that you don't have no connection with because the ones who see you for who you are becoming, they'll respect you more than the ones who see you for who you used to be and then see who you're becoming. It doesn't really, you're like a walking reality check. Like you pull yourself out of this hole and I didn't pull myself out of this hole. Maybe I want to subconsciously. So now I'm going to hate on you and I won't support you. And you know how you know your family and friends don't support you? Let's say if you on Instagram, right? Let's say you got a little small business and you going and you building, right? And let's say every single time you post a product or something that you're doing, maybe you're having a new meeting for your business, maybe you're trying to get a mastermind for your business, maybe you just want some advice, and they don't share nothing of what you're talking about. Nothing. Now, you supposed to love me. You supposed to want me to get ahead. You my friends. You my family. How come you don't share my stuff? How come you don't promote my stuff? And I'm not speaking well, some personally, but I'm just talking in general. So if you're in my family who watching this, if it ain't applying to you, let it fly. But you know who, if you're my family, you're watching this and you feel the type of way, I'm probably talking to you. So it is what it is. I'm trying to help other people. So if you my family watching this, hey, deal with it. This is who I am. This is who I always been. So you already know me. But let's not regress. I just had to say that real quick because, you know, we talk about friends and family, and I got friends and family I love. I got friends and family that keep away from me. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But when it comes down to it, as you start to excel in life, they really will start feeling weird around you because, you know, people always say when you start to excel and you get money, you change. But it's really not the person who gets the money who changes. It's really people who are around them who change because they get money and feel so insecure around them. They like to say, you've changed. No, you've changed. You think I'm supposed to change because I got money or because I'm making it in life, because maybe I went to college or I graduated, you know, school after being a failure in life or a failure at that time in my life, and I made a decision, or I decided to buy my first home or first car, and you see me on welfare or whatever you want to call it, and you see me get further than you doing something that's outside the box of the paradigm you were told. Now, a big paradigm change is, let's use a black family because I'm a black man and a lot of my people who watch are black families. Now, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm just using this example for my life. You got to understand, because I'm spiritual does not mean that I hate God. You feel me? But when people who are in church that I grew up around, that I love them to this day, treat me different because I decide to change the paradigm of my thinking. You treat me different. You think that I'm into devil stuff. I'm not. I am a righteous brother. I live better than I did when I was even in church. I'm not saying church may be worse. I'm just saying this is what works for me. How come as family they don't respect your decision for just leaving the church? Why do I have to do what you're doing? I don't see what you're doing is working for you. So why do I follow the old paradigm of following you? Following what you do. Why is that? Well, let me tell you why. Because in the paradigm of many churches, even though they don't want to say it, if you are not them, you are not them. You are outside. You are bad. You are not good. It's just what listen, I grew up all my life in church. So don't tell me I'm lying. I know I ain't lying. You feel me? I know it. But, you know, when you're a spiritual person, does not mean you hate God. That means you love the God in you and the God up there more, the Most High. That means that I will use what Most High put in me to discern good and discern from bad. I'm going to use the greater version of myself to make humanity better. That's what I believe, and that's what I know to be true. Why is it that when you decide to leave any religion, they treat you as if you're now an outcast? They don't want to talk to you. They seem to love you or accept you if you're doing bad just because you're going to church. You show up at church? Oh, that's what I'm talking about. You showed up? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And they know after church you're going to go sleep with a couple women. You're going to go to the casino. You might go get some drinks. You might go play the lottery. They know all this. But just because you walked into church, it's not for everybody, so don't apply the fly. But just because you walk into church, yeah. But when I don't ever walk into church and I'm living, I'm not doing any of them things, I'm loving my woman. I'm taking care of my kids. I'm handling my business. I'm helping people. Why is it that you get no love then? Then it makes you understand this is just a DNA connection. And this is not a real connection. And then you'll start to find out that your circle in family and your circle in friends will get much smaller. I mean, much smaller. It's hard to find challenging, I want to use the word hard, challenging to find those people who genuinely want to see you do good. And then you'll be like, wow, it hurts. It really hurts. It really hurts because you still love these people who don't treat you the same because they feel like you may have changed, or they just feel like, I don't want to be around that person because I don't want them talking about their accomplishments. I don't want them talking about the things that they want to do. I don't understand what they mean when they say they want to do this and want to do that. It doesn't make sense. Nobody in our family ever did it this way. So why should this guy do it too? Why should this guy do it this other way? It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to immediately reject them. I'm going to doubt him or her. I'm going to make fun of them. I'm going to talk about them behind their back. I'm never going to give them a call anymore. I'm never going to invite them to places anymore. I'm going to treat them different. I'm going to do all these things because it makes me uncomfortable to see that person doing something different than I did or what I was taught to do. You got to realize, people, that law of attraction is forcing you to tell you that I put myself in this hole and there's nobody that's going to get me out but the God in me. I am not calling myself God. I said God in me. If God has made us, if the Most High has made us in their image, not a him, not a her, whatever you want to call it, then he has also given me the ability to change my reality, just like I made it bad, just like I'm going to make it good. And once I came to that realization, that is when everything in my life totally changed for the better. And, you know, it's a give and a take, because you'll realize that when you have these big ass circles of people, you're probably not living at the edge. You're not living for yourself. You might be living for those that accept you because you just want to fit in. But when you start to challenge this world and this paradigm and this society and these rules and these holidays and these religions and just the belief in the school and all these things and the vaccines and the health and what we've been taught, we've been raised, you start to find that there ain't many of you out there. But there is many of you out there. They just ain't around you. And you're going to have to attract those people into your life. It's probably the whole reason I came to YouTube in general. You know? So you eventually will find your circle of people. But you got to find your circle of self first. You got to love yourself, because at the end of the day, you are great. You just have to understand and know for yourself that you don't need anybody to pick you up. You have the ability to pick yourself up. Yes, it's great to have people to do that. It's great to have supporters. But in the beginning, you must realize that at the end of the day, you must have you first. You understand? Like, do you understand what I'm saying here? You know, and you must realize that when it comes to nutrition amongst the black family, I'm sorry, if you're Caucasian, if you're Spanish, try to stick with me with this one. But with the black family, we don't eat well. Well, they don't eat well at all. Historically, the black family has eaten a lot of things such as high cholesterol, things that cause high blood pressure, a lot of fat, a lot of salt, a lot of pork, a lot of garbage. We ate a lot of Kool-Aid, a lot of stuff. And I was raised with this kind of a diet. But you realize that when you eat this diet for a certain period of time, you can't blame them for not being able to see, because the food is engineered to make you not be able to see, to calcify the seeing eye, pineal gland, by the age of 12. So when they don't see what you see because you have changed your nutrition, when they make fun of you because you have changed your nutrition, they don't see what you see, so they can't comprehend what you're trying to do because it doesn't make sense, and they have yet to question anything. They just keep on eating and eating and eating and doing and doing and doing and getting sick and getting sick and getting sick and not changing a goddamn thing. And as the person, you're the evolution, you're the next breed. You got to think different, you got to see different, you got to do different, because the way they were doing it wasn't the way it should have been done. Because if it was the way it should have been done, you wouldn't have died of cancer or got high blood pressure or diabetes and got your foot cut off or whatever you want to call it. You know? It doesn't work. So if I'm looking at this, I'm looking at you, I'm looking at y'all, and I'm looking at Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter, and I see how every time we get together to have a good time, we're unknowingly killing ourselves, and I don't want to be around that because you don't have nothing for me, and it's okay. I'm not asking you to have nothing for me. Have something for you that's going to give you the better quality of life. But because you don't seem to love that part of yourself that says it in your Bible that your body is a temple and you're supposed to take care of yourself. I mean, I'm just saying, says it, but I mean, and not in those words, I'm paraphrasing, but you don't eat well. I look at somebody who doesn't eat well as, why should I follow these people? Like, you don't even you don't even control your body, your own body. You can't even control that. Why should I follow you? It doesn't make any sense. Like looking at a personal trainer who's fat. Why am I following a personal trainer who's fat? You haven't even trained yourself. Why should I listen to you? Now I'll follow people who actually do it and got the results that I want. Now, if the result you want is to be fat, out of shape, to be literally diabetic by the time you're 25 and have high blood pressure by the time you're 30 and erectile dysfunction by the time you're 35 and dead by the time you're 45, then that's the paradigm you should follow. But if you're somebody who wants to eat to live and have a better quality of life, this is the model I present. And when you start to change your habits, the first ones who will make fun of you are your family and friends. Now, you would think that they would be happy you made a different choice in your diet that will benefit you, but it doesn't seem like they're too happy because why? Family and friends seem to run in cliques. And whenever you do something different from that clique, just like high school, they'll try to make you feel some type of way for doing something different than everybody's doing because everybody out here is geese. You fly together, you move together, you're like birds, you go up and down and side to side together. And whenever you're that bird that loses and leaves the pack, or whatever you want to call, whatever flock of birds are when they fly, I don't know what they call. Whenever you're that bird, you're just a different bird. You become the ugly duckling. And they're going to try to discourage you. They're going to try to make jokes about you. They're going to try to tease you. And not just the ones who are on your level, the ones who are older than you that you actually looked up to, like, damn, you my favorite uncle. Like, why you making fun of me? Because I'm decided to eat. I don't want to eat cake today because I'm taking care of myself. It's like, damn, yo. Like, you don't even want to see me do good? My way? I got to do it your way? Why I got to do it my way? Why can't I do it my way? My way seems to be working. Why can't you just accept that I'm doing something different? Why can't you accept that I'm challenging this world? Maybe because they wish they could challenge this world. Maybe they wish they were brave enough to challenge it. Maybe they're so afraid to challenge it because they're afraid of being alone because they've probably never been alone. Who knows? That they just don't want to challenge it. Like when you tell somebody an absolute fact, they won't research it. They'll just say, nah, that's bullshit. Whatever. Doesn't make any sense to me. Without even challenging it. Like no logic whatsoever. Because they're acting off emotion. And because you're a walking reality check, every time you're around them, you make them emotional. Because you make them subconscious about themselves. Because they probably always want to do these things, but now you're the one doing it. And normally the first one doing is always one that receives the most flack. It is what it is. You got to deal with it. You got to understand that that's the way it is. That's the way it goes, people. I'm just going to keep it real. Like, seriously. That is the way it is. Hold on. Let me not digress too much because I just went on a little tangent. Oh! So, when you're moving in a direction that is up, whatever part, I don't care if you want to be a millionaire down to somebody who just graduated from college, down to somebody, not down, but to somebody who just got in shape, to somebody who just wants to settle down, to somebody who wants to stop drinking, to somebody who wants to stop smoking, whatever it may be, somebody who wants to just travel, like to be a melanated man and to travel the way I want to travel is not the way that I've seen men around my family travel. I want like to go to Turkey. Like, who have I ever met that went to Turkey? Nobody. It's just these things, like, I just don't want to be like everybody else. And maybe you don't want to be like everybody else. And I don't want to be like y'all. And if y'all want to treat me like that, I got to go there. Now, when people like to tell you how to do things in your life, that are in your friends clique or your family clique, and you don't see them doing that in their own life, don't listen to them. Surround yourself with people. Because we have online, you can always find somebody online that's thinking on your same wavelength. All right? Whoever is vibrating on your frequency, that is who you need to be attracted to. If they're telling you to do a thing and they haven't yet done them for themselves, don't listen to them. They'll just do as I say, not as I do. You got all this advice, you got all this info, but yet you have not put this into your own life. So why should I listen to you? You have yet to do this to yourself. So when those people see you doing something, like say, okay, so say you just opened up a business, right? Or you want to open a business, like, well, you go do this, you go do that, you make sure you file for your taxes, you do and do all these things. Like, wait a second. You run your business? So why am I listening? How you got all this advice, but you haven't even done this for yourself yet? I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm like, all right, cool. All right, okay. But don't take their advice. Take the advice of somebody who actually has done it. And a lot of people, when you do certain things in your family, they always got something to say. What you should do, what you're not doing. You doing the video wrong, or you're dribbling the wrong way, or you're lifting this weight, or you're eating your calories are this, and this workout you should do, extend your arm. If you haven't done these things, don't tell me what to do. So people, if you got people around you as you start to excel or start to have dreams and they got all this advice for you, listen to the ones who are doing exactly what you want to do, or they're exactly where you want to be. Listen to those people because they got the real advice because they've done it. And I'd rather listen to people who have done it than ones who haven't done it. If somebody is telling you like to research something and they haven't researched it themselves, why are you telling me to research it? You haven't even done it. Like, all right, so just like, no, it's not gonna work. All right, just don't tell me what to do. Like, all right, there's no disrespect, and don't be disrespectful. Don't be an asshole because you excel. If you excel in life farther than your family, never be an asshole. All right, the pride comes before the fall. You feel me? So never be too prideful. Always use humility whenever you are around them, even if you know you're doing better than every last one of them. Use humility. Be a humble person. Never ever change just because those are changing around you. You can separate yourself, but never ever change. And also don't hold a grudge. Use it as a chip on your shoulder to even excel more and more and more, to the point where they respect what you're doing. Maybe they don't like it. Maybe they still treat you different. Keep your distance. But always realize and show them that my paradigm also works, maybe even better than your paradigm. You feel me? So I hope that you got that one. Now, okay. So we have a cycle in our family, not my family, just in anybody's family, of following those who seem to be what we call elders, right? Okay, so because you're an elder in the family, I'm supposed to follow you. No, I'm supposed to respect you, but I'm not supposed to follow you because you're an elder. Because for me, I'm also an elder too to somebody else. And maybe my job is to shift and move the way of doing things than you did it. So young people can do things my way, and I can shape society in my light, in my image. So yes, you just don't disrespect your elders ever. But remember, you learn from your elders. You don't follow them if they're making a mistake. I want you to just look at your family in general. I want you to, next time you go to the doctor, right? And they ask you them questions like, does high blood pressure run in your family? Does diabetes run in your family? Does all these things run in your family, right? And I don't know how to answer that question. You shouldn't know how to answer that. I can't answer that question because the habit runs in my bloodline, but it doesn't run in me. I speak from experience because if I would have stayed on the habits of the elders, then I would have had more erectile dysfunction at 35. I don't know where it would have been. It probably would have been limp as hell because it was going there at 28. I had pre-diabetes by the age of 29, 30. I had high blood pressure by the age of 29 and 30, and I had all kinds of other ailments and things of that nature. Okay. I was able to reverse that by reversing the habit, changing the habit. If you see something is not working and your friends and family is that habit, just stop doing it and do something else. Don't be afraid to be alone. Also, this is going to my next topic as far as isolation. Now, I think everybody who is growing needs to isolate themselves for a period of time. I'm not talking about stay in a small dark room. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about getting a point in a period where you know yourself to the point where you like what you like. Understand that when you are with a circle of people, you tend to move like those geese I was talking about. You go, you go north when it gets such and such, and you fly together. You do these things to the point where you kind of lose yourself. Even as in your family, you get to a point where you're celebrating all these holidays, or you're meeting up and you're just eating what you're eating because you just want to fit in and you don't know exactly what's the best for you. You are agreeing to beliefs that you may question, but you're afraid to question them because you're not sure of the answers, but you know it doesn't seem right. Or going to college, maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you see that going to college seems to get people in debt, and 9 times out of 10, many of them nowadays aren't even doing their major. Maybe you want to do something a little different, like this don't seem to be working. Why should I continue to do these things over and over again? But when you hang around circles of people who are doing this, you take on the vibrational frequency of those people, and you tend to do these things without even really knowing it because everybody else is doing it, and it just gets comfortable. See, people are not used to being uncomfortable. You don't like to be uncomfortable. Humans hate change. We hate it. We don't like the change whatsoever. It is so mentally uncomfortable. It is not even funny. Very, very difficult to change. But these are the mental things you must go through, the mental shifts you must go through to develop new neural pathways, to figure out new ways to getting things done in a more smarter way, not a harder way. Work smart, not work hard. You ever heard of that before? So when you tend to want to do things different, you must separate yourself from the ones who are doing things the way you don't want to do them, because they just will bring all kinds of bullshit and doubt into your area, and you don't want that at all. So you got to leave those people where they are for a little while, and sometimes you may never even go back to those people because the person that you've become is no longer fitting in with that old circle or old group. Or when it's family, yes, you are blood. Now, okay, so with family, you kind of like, okay, I love you, but I don't have to like you. You understand what I'm saying there? Like, I love you, but I don't gotta like you. Okay, now I don't dislike most of my family. I like mostly all of them. I like maybe a few of them I just don't want to be around, and I'll stay away from those. But most of my family I actually like. I'm not sure how much they like me because I decided to leave church, and they treated me so different when I left church. But I can feel energy. I'm an empath. When I'm an empath, so I can feel the frequency changes when I walk into a room with somebody that feels uncomfortable with me. And I don't like to be around that kind of energy, because if I make you feel uncomfortable, then I'm going to exit my presence from you so you feel comfortable again. You know what I'm saying? And if my life change makes you feel uncomfortable, then I will never come back around you again. And it is what it is. And I won't feel any type of way about it, because why should you feel guilty for for making yourself better, and you made them uncomfortable just for making yourself better when they're supposed to love you for that? But if you make them feel uncomfortable for making yourself better, you shouldn't feel guilty, because at the end of the day, the first person you're supposed to love is yourself. You're supposed to love yourself before anything, because if you're somebody who likes to make people feel happy and you're a people pleaser, then you will come to find out that at the end of the day, you will please nobody, because one thing, you're faking it for somebody else, and one thing you're fake, and what's even worse is you're faking it for yourself. So at the end of the day, when you get old or whatever age you get to, you look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm being fake. You will regret every single day that you're fake, and you will hate yourself for it. So I just decided to live in my truth and say, listen, whoever doesn't like me, doesn't like me. And whoever does like me, does like me. And the moment I decided to do that, that's the moment that I got all these followers. Before, my old YouTube videos, which are still up on YouTube, still don't have a lot of views. I was trying to satisfy people and speak it in a way that wasn't real to me. Like sometimes I curse. I don't curse all the time, but sometimes I curse, and that's just me. You know what I mean? And that's a part of me that I just like to say, well, you're spiritual. I curse. So what? It's me. You know, and once you understand who you are, you're like, okay, I feel comfortable sometimes. Sometimes I'm emotional, I curse. I'm intense. It is what it is. My main name is Mr. Intensity. Sometimes I am really loud, or sometimes I'm really passionate. You know, I shouldn't be made to feel some way because of my. You gotta love yourself, people. And if you don't love yourself, to separate yourself from those who say they love you but actions don't show. See, I don't care about if you tell me you love me. I don't care if you tell me you're sorry. I don't care if you tell me you regret it. I look at your actions. Your actions are speaking louder than words. So if family says I support you, but then they don't really support you, then do they really support you? No. I look at what the action says. You know, and a lot of things, a lot of times people can share a bunch of things on their social media that are low vibrational. They don't serve anybody, but to kill people to put up a flyer of yours would kill them to support you. It would kill them. And you got to realize that your support won't come from them. Now, some people are much more fortunate than others. They may have a large amount of their family who genuinely support them. But this isn't the majority, and let's not play. This isn't the majority. The majority of people that are close to you, friends and family, will not support you when you get higher in life. They will treat you like the ugly duckling. Even when you're the golden goose, they'll treat you like the ugly duckling because you are now outside of that box and they want to pull you back in. And people will subconsciously do this all the time when it comes down to it. Let me see what y'all saying. I ain't even looking to what y'all saying. Dang, what y'all saying? Okay. So I hope that you guys are getting this. You cannot tell them at all what you got going on. If your spouse is somebody who doesn't support you, don't tell her. And sometimes people even get divorces. Sometimes people even change to such a level that they realize this is not the person that I should have been with. And sometimes you can't live with yourself to the point where you just get a divorce. And it's the truth. Why sit there and be miserable with somebody, making them miserable because you're not that person that they married, and that person's not willing to change, you're not willing to change, and then we just have a separation and we're just staying together for whatever reason. Maybe because, it costs money for divorce, whatever reason. I believe that this life in this body I'm living right now, and I'm going to enjoy to the fullest. I'm going to live truest to the fullest, and I'm not going to have any regrets, because denying myself happiness will be the greatest regret in my whole life. And if I am unhappy for longer than I need to be, by choosing to be unhappy, then I will never forgive myself to get married at a certain age and to have such an awakening where you realize this is not the person that I need to be with, because I have changed to such a level that these things this person has done, that is living before, is no longer comfortable for me. And I can't accept this. And this person is not willing to change. Sometimes people get divorces. And I never believed in being with somebody that I'm not happy with. I will literally just, I will not be with that person. I will try as hard as I can to help this person for as long as I can. And if that day comes where we just realize we can't be happy, we both have to find our happiness. And that's what it has to be. Am I talking about personal? I'm pretty happy, right? I'm good. But I'm just saying, a lot of people are dealing with this with their marriage. And their marriage, is literally a shell of what it used to be, because one person in that relationship has changed to a point where the other person, like maybe when you got with this person, y'all both like clubs, y'all both like drinking, y'all like going to their friends with the barbecues, you like doing all kinds of stuff, you maybe like, doing some drugs, whatever. You like doing a lot of these things, but when you have an awakening, and you use the law of attraction and you realize you got to change many things about yourself in order to rapidly manifest things, you stop these things because you realize that you got to remove anything that's not serving you. So when you remove these things that's not serving you and that person doesn't, First, that person not removing these things are probably going to annoy you because you got to be around constant temptations all the time. This person wants to go to their friend's house and have a barbecue, knowing good and well you don't eat meats. You still like, yo, then you got to go there, deal with those same friends that, eat what they eat and make you feel bad because you decide to go vegan or vegetarian or pescatarian and just change your diet and eat a little cleaner. They may say you lost some weight or whatever it may be. You are dealing with this old lifestyle that is no longer you. So as you're trying to kill the old you, you have to remove anything that has anything to do with the old you. And with spouses, it's a very touchy subject because spouses are something people feel like they cannot remove. Now, I'm not saying I'm like get divorced. I'm saying do what's best for you and don't look yourself in the mirror when you're 70 or 80 and like, yo, I just wasted 50 years with this person and I should have got divorced when I was 30 so I could find somebody and so she could find somebody or he or whatever. So they could find who they were truly supposed to be with, and I could find who I was truly supposed to be with. But since I did what was comfortable, I literally sacrificed all these years of my life that I could never get back. Because one thing that keeps on ticking is time. Time keeps on going. Whether you make the right decision or the wrong decision. So it's might as well go balls to the wall and make the decision that makes you happy. And if it doesn't make you happy, shit, you learn from your mistakes. But don't be the one who sits there comfortable and complacent. Because in life, what I say, 3 C's. You're complacent, you're complaining, or you're competing. When you're complacent, you're just sitting still. When you're complaining, you're just running your mouth. And when you're competing, you're always growing because you're always trying to be the better version of yourself. And when you're around these people who are constantly complacent or in a state that you no longer wish to be in, you must remove yourself from whoever is in that state so you can no longer be in it, no longer be around a temptation, so you can love yourself and get better. And then find your confidence in yourself. Sometimes, many times, to love yourself and to isolate yourself is to develop confidence in what you currently know and believe in. To get knowledge of what you currently believe in so you can develop your shield around yourself. Because if you're a person who just decided to go whatever and just like say I decided to go to business school or say I decided to go to tech school, but you really don't know about what you're doing, you can't defend yourself if somebody decides to challenge you with their beliefs and with your beliefs. And also, don't debate. Debating is futile in a lot of areas. Not all, but a lot of areas. I am not a fan of debating anybody. Because what I know and what I believe is not for you to know and believe. And if you have your beliefs and you would believe in what you believe in as much as I know what I know, why are we talking? All we're doing is talking to 2 brick walls, hoping that we get through and we don't get through. Wall hitting, wall hitting, wall hitting, wall. You get nowhere. They're both frustrated. Leave it. Also, when you're around family and you realize certain things you know, this is a big one, y'all. When you're around family and there's certain things you know that will literally hurt your family's feeling, it's not for you to tell them. If you know something about the Bible, if you know something about college, if you know something about health, a lot of times you saying it will cause such a division between you and your family that it can never be tied. It can never be fused back together. Because coming from you will shake their very foundation, because this person who now was under them, I seen you grow up, you was a kid, whatever. And you telling me about myself, or you telling me that what I've been doing has been wrong, coming from you, they gonna feel some type of way. Sometimes you ain't the one that's not for you to tell them everything that you know. It's not for you to convince them that what they're doing is wrong. It's not for you to do that. Sometimes keep your mouth shut. You better that way. I understand sometimes people you want to help them as best you can, but do not tell them something that's going to kill their soul. I'm telling you, the shit that I know, let me turn this down a little bit. I'm a little loud right here. The things that I know will break people in my family's soul, and I don't want to be the one to tell them. Now, the only ones I kind of tell the truth to is my mom. She the only one that I feel like can really listen to what I say with an open mind. She's probably the only one. And sometimes you probably find just one person in your whole family that will understand and just sit back and listen to what your beliefs are, what your knowledge is, without challenging you, with understanding this is who he's becoming. It's working out for him. Even though I don't want to adapt his life, even though I don't want to adapt or use his methods, I'm happy it's working for him. And probably my mother's the only one that I feel like can listen to what I say, like the truth of what I say, and not attack me, or not feel some type of way, or not treat me different, or not tune out when I start speaking some real stuff. Your friends, say you are now a conscious person who knows so much about health, and you've educated yourself to such a level that you just want to tell everybody, because you know when you come into knowledge, I just want to share with those I love. I just want to help those people I love. I want to help my friends. I want to tell them what they're doing is wrong. They're investing wrong. Open up this, do that. You want to tell them. They ain't going to hear from you. Many of them ain't going to hear it. Some of them will. And you know who will hear it. You can try them. But if they don't keep on pushing it at them. You're going to push them away. And if you want them to grow to where you are or learn what you learn, plant a little seed. But don't sit there. Hold on. My bad. Let me plug this bad boy in. My PC about to die. Hold on. I ain't going to lose my train of thought either. There we go.
Slight buffer.
Slight buffer, yeah, because my PC is, my bad. There we go. Okay, we back. All right, cool. Hold on. Hold on. We back. All right, let's get back in the building. Hold on. I see it's buffering. Are we back? Are we good again? It's buffer? Oh, man. Let me turn some things down. Boom. Boom. Hold on, y'all. We're buffering heavy tonight. Hold on, y'all. Let me refresh. Hold on. All right. Okay. Let me make sure we back. Let me see. Are we good? Let me see, because I might have to do this again. All right. Okay. All right. Let me see. Is it still buffering? Yeah, no, I see it lagging. I see it lagging. Okay. I'm sweating too. Sheesh. All right. Let me get into this. All right. Okay. All right, we back. Okay. All right, cool. All right, let's get back into it. All right, so now you can't be the one to tell them anything at all. Is it good? Are we buffering? Are we still buffering? We good? Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I know. I can see they don't want nobody to know the law of attraction. All right, so check this. All right. You can't, I'm about to close with this because it's getting a little buffering and all that. Okay. You can't be the one to tell them that stuff. That is not for you to do. Sometimes all you can do is plant a seed, and that is that. All right? That's all you probably could do. Don't trip. I know you want to help them, but sometimes it don't come from you at the end of the day. It's going to come from somebody else, and they going to remember you said it. But sometimes advice, the best advice will come from you, but they can hear the same thing from other people and they'll get it then. You know what I'm saying? They'll get it then. Okay, we good. All right. So understand that. The last thing I'm going to say is when you decide that you want to do something a little different, you're always going to get adversity from anybody, whether it's friends, family, coworkers, employees, whatever you want to call it. You're going to get kickback. But it's not about the kickback you get, it's about what you do about the kickback. You have to understand with law of attraction, you're going to sound delusional with many people. You're going to sound hella delusional because they've never heard this before. They've never heard many people haven't never heard law of attraction and manifestation. They always put their belief in something else to get it done for them, and they'll sit around with twinkle in their fingers and hoping that it's going to get done, but it's not going to get done in the way that you want it to. Understand that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. It's getting hot in here, baby.
I know.
Thank you.
No problem.
Woo!
Put the AC on.
You know, you gonna put it? No, I'm not put the AC. I'm about to close anyway. We good.
Okay.
We good. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. So I just want y'all to realize that it's very hard to leave or to take a break from people. I think the best thing for me, like, okay, in my personal experience, I had to move. I had so much history and friends and family that have seen me at such a low point in my life in the area that I grew up in. I had to leave that area in order to truly be successful because I was around people who envied me, who hated me, who talked about me. Just because I got better, they were, seeming to treat me worse or treat me further away. And it wasn't all of them, but it was a lot of them. A lot of them that I didn't know of or didn't know of, whatever. I just had to go. I had to leave the community that I was living in order for me to truly grow so I can be around people who don't know me that will respect me a lot more, respect what I do, because I knew what I was doing was great. But I knew that because it was coming from me to people I knew and grew up with, it wasn't going to work that way because they seen where I was and they couldn't get past that point. People will see where you were and they can never get past that point. No matter how much you want them to, even if you develop a major company or whatever you want to call it, they'll never see you in that light. But it's okay. Use that as not anger. Don't hold a grudge, but use it as a chip on the shoulder. And in the beginning, I held a lot of grudges. I mean, I held a lot of grudges. And I was angry and I was sad. And it pissed me off because I was really only trying to do something for myself. And because of that, I got treated a little differently. It's okay. It's part of the game. It's a give and a take. You're gonna deal with some loss, and when you get some gain, it's hey, it is what it is. Don't trip. But I had to move, and because I was in a position and I had a company where I could do anywhere because I do it online, then I wanted to move. And people say I could. People said I couldn't do it. People said that that it was too big. People said that it will fail. People said that this is what we did. This is how we did it, and I just didn't seem that I wanted to do that. I didn't want to be a trainer all my life. It wasn't smart to me. It didn't seem like it was working smart. It seemed like it was working hard. People took me for granted, all that stuff. And I knew that I was going somewhere where I was going to impact more people than I was impacting. And I had to literally go to a place that I had never seen around people, for people around me and never been. Nobody that I know is a big YouTuber. I'm not a big YouTuber, but bigger than what I was. Nobody that I know owns a supplement company. Nobody that I know is doing what I'm doing. And sometimes, in order for people to believe in themselves and believe you can do it, you got to do things that nobody else has done. Because if you want to be somewhere that you have never been before, you got to do something that you've never done before. Understand? And be around those who you have never been around before and leave those that you've been around all your life. You still love them, but you got to love people from a distance so you can go ahead and grow at the end of the day. So besides that, I hope this was a great conversation. Let me read some of your comments here today. You know what I mean? Yeah. They'll always, listen. They'll always see you as the same person that you used to be. You know what I'm saying? They'll always see it. They'll just see it, You know what I mean? Somebody said, is it hard not to eat meat? In the beginning it was, but it's not now because I have a wife that's a great, she's a great cook. She throws it down. What other superpowers are out there other than empaths? Psychics, people who literally can feel people energy. You can see, you have heightened intuition, increased smell, sight, all kinds of stuff, connection to animals, all kinds of powers out there. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of powers. You know what I mean? Seriously, you know what I mean? What else is going on? Somebody, oh yeah, that was a good one. Who said this? Andre Mass. He said they called me disrespectful for not eating meat and being quiet. I told them I felt disrespected, and they tried to shame me for not partaking. Yeah, what family and these events, these holidays, right? What these holidays they do, they create a habit that is acceptable to kill yourself. I don't like to be around my family at these events. Like I would love to see them, even though I don't celebrate none of those holidays. I don't feel like explaining why I don't celebrate these holidays. Don't even ask me. You know what I mean? Like, cause I don't want to tell you. You're not ready to hear it. I'm ready to hear it. I can hear whatever. You don't got nothing I ain't heard before. I do. But I ain't going to tell you. So leave it there. And even if you don't tell them, they get mad. If you do tell them, you get mad. So it's like, damned if I do. It's like, damned if I don't. I've been there. Trust me. I tried not to, and I got snapped on. I tried to, and I got snapped on. What the fuck you want from me? But yeah, they'll make you feel some type of way because like when I'm around these events and I see these people with all these physical ailments and these problems and pre-diabetic and then overweight and still partaking these foods, I'm literally watching you kill yourself slowly. And I think food has been doctored in as a food and not a drug. Many foods are drugs. You're eating crack, you're eating heroin, you're eating sugar, all the same thing, activate the same parts in your brain, dopamine in your brain, reward sensation. They all do the same thing, which keep you addicted to the food. And because of what I do and because of the knowledge I have, because I literally see what you're doing to yourself, I love you so much that I can't be around you doing it. Just like if you had a family and you used to meet at the crack house and you walk in a crack house and you are clean, but everybody's smoking crack and you're ending your life and you're about to, steal your mama's TV. I don't want to be around that no more. And I would love to see them other than that. But that's the only time a lot of them meet. Or at church. And I don't go there. So, you don't really see me around many of it. I'll let my kids go with my mom, but you don't really see me around many events. Because I don't feel like explaining why I don't eat the food or hearing the vegan jokes or vegetarian jokes. Like, what the fuck? I eat to live. And I'm in better shape than most of, or all of you combined. But I don't want to be that person that comes out and says it because now I'm an asshole. Or somebody walks to me and walks to you and says, well, you got skinny. Well, what if I said you got fat? Because I lost some weight because I was trying to do a better version of myself. And I said you got fat. You take offense, but I'm not supposed to take offense because you said I got skinny. Ain't that weird how that works? Anyway, let me read some more of that stuff. Let me see. I still got homies trying to lock with me, but I'm not that person anymore. Hey, listen, for real. Like, you got to realize that, a lot of things in your life are going to happen that's going to cause you to change in a way where people just can't deal with it. They can't deal with the kind of change you deal with. And with the law of attraction, if you want to manifest things that you see only in your mind, you have to keep them right in your mind to keep them nice and strong and potent. You know what I mean? You got to keep them there. You got to write them down. You got to, keep a secret, a real big secret. Like, oh, I didn't know you was doing all that. Why you ain't tell nobody? Because you was going to create doubt. That's why I ain't tell nobody. You wasn't going, because you wouldn't have believed me if I said I wanted to run my own supplement company. You would have been trying to ask me all specifics, and I didn't know the specifics, so I would have sounded dumb if I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I kept them to myself, because I didn't want you to put doubt in my mind. I didn't want you to stop me, to make me think that I wasn't good enough to have these things that other people around me have, or other people are not around me have. If I want to be a businessman, and nobody in my family is a businessman, why should I tell you I want to be a businessman? It ain't what y'all used to. And if I'm doing something that ain't what y'all used to, I ain't going to tell you. And a lot of y'all, like me, got really excited when you had something and you knew this was for you. Shut up, cat. You knew this was for you. And Lana, get this. I didn't know he was in here. Get him out of here. Blacks, get him out of here. Get Blacks out of here. He's in the room. Sorry, y'all. He's getting on my nerves. Yeah, but when it comes down to it, yeah, get him out. Yeah. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you gotta follow your own path, and sometimes your own path is going to lead you to being the leader of some kind of group of your own. You know, and those young ones in the family that have not been changed and shifted, those are the ones you're meant to lead. You don't gotta lead the elders. You know what I mean? They were supposed to lead you, and in many cases, to me, many of my elders failed because their ways didn't work for me. Their ways don't work in society. Their ways didn't work for them. So why the hell should I follow them? Following will be insane to me. And not all of my elders, but you know, a lot of things they did I don't agree with. And I decided to do things my way. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does, way, yay, it works. You know, I like to jump out of my own thing. I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. I'll do it until I turn 18. Then I leave the house and I'll do what I want to do. You know what I mean? So if you always have something in your mind to do, keep it to yourself. You know, do visualization. We'll get into that. We'll get into how to do it. We'll get into when to do it. We'll get into the best times to do it. We'll get into what to say to yourself. We'll get into affirmations. We'll get into all these things. But tonight we got into friends and family, and I hope tonight that I helped you out. You know what I mean? And yeah, you're right, Bo. Riding solo is not bad when you were grinding. And I've been riding solo for about almost 2 years now. A little over 2 years. I've been riding straight solo. I got my family. I got my sons. I got my daughter. I got my immediate family, and that's all I need, people. At the end of the day, I love them. I love my father. I love my sisters. I love my nieces, and I love my nephews. And that's all I need at the end of the day. You know, whoever decides to to treat me the same way they treated me before, I love you too. But if you decide to treat me different because of a decision I made to make myself better, and you see it now working, you see my things that I said about coming to fruition, and you still treat me like that, then hey, you stay there, I'll stay here. Because your energy is going to fuck up my vibration. So let me go ahead and vibrate my way, you vibrate your way. And we'll just be like that. And all we'll be is blood. And it's okay. It's okay to separate yourself from some people that's just blood. Your blood. You know, it is what it is. You don't got to be bonded. You don't got to see them if you don't want to see them. Don't feel guilty. They don't feel bad because they try to shame you. They shame you because they have a lack of knowledge of what you know. They shame you because they're ignorant. They're immature, and it's showing. And I lost respect for a lot of people that showed me that. A lot of people that I looked up to all my life. And you will lose a lot of respect for people who shame you or treat you different for a decision you made to make your life better. You didn't shame me when I was living wrong. You didn't shame me when I was a Christian but I was doing everything bad. You shame me when I'm living the best version of myself. What does that say about that person there or those people there? And then you start to see them in a light where you've never seen them, and you understand that they still have a lot of growing to do as well. And you have growing to do for those under you. That is your responsibility, to make your life better first and to make those around you better. Because at the end of the day, unless you're making somebody's life better, then you're wasting your time. We all love each other. We all serve each other. We're all a co-creating collective consciousness, people. Understand that, and you'll understand life, and you'll understand how to move. So besides that, I'm going to get up out of here. I love y'all. I'm going to see y'all soon. Besides that, visit the website, IntensityFitnessUnited.com. Go get some stuff. Go get a program, regeneration program coming out next month. My wife is working on a women's program as well. We might launch it on the same day if she's done. But besides that, I love y'all. I will see y'all soon. If y'all have any questions, email intensity